Oh, look at that.
That is neat. I would be, I'd have trouble sleeping there. I think I would be scared a little bit.
I'd never leave the room.
Really?
And let me see. Is that the one I'm thinking? Is that the first one I saw?
I like that they got the floating
$10,000 a night. You better not leave the room.
Oh,
God
yeah,
damn.
I'm not leaving.
Okay,
Dude,
so it's not that deep. I mean, you'd probably still die, but you wouldn't be crushed.
I mean, what if it just makes some pinholes, though, Richard, and it just fills with water? It's not going to shatter and allow you to swim to the top. It's going to fill with water.
Yeah, and you're like those Chilean miners or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
like,
don't even talk about that. That's awful. They left him in there. They left him in that pipe.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even try.
They got him out in the end, right?
No. All right, here's what happened. They all got all these Chilean fucking welders or whatever, scuba welders fucking got sucked into this pipe because of a pressure change. And they're all broken up in there, broken arms and shit. But there's enough like air in the pipe, you know, that they can lean up, and they're yelling down like Domingo's got a fucking broken leg and Mikey's head's bleeding. And like, but we're all like in sort of communication, and one of them gets out. And the company doesn't believe him that his friends are alive in the pipe. They're like, nobody could be alive in the pipe. And they don't rescue them. They let them die.
Oh, shit.
No one could be alive in that pipe, Domingo. You must have hit your head. Had too much tequila last night, I suspect. Get on out of here. You're trying to get some workman's comp, probably. And they left those guys in there to die, and they fucking died.
Damn.
Jesus.
I had in my head that they had made a movie about this and that they had all gotten out safely.
I mean,
gun to my head 3 minutes ago. That's how I would have told that story. Is like, oh, and then they got them out, and they were back to mining happily, doing their songs.
No, there's one of those like dark stories YouTube channels where like it breaks it down. I think they have like the guys they're talking and telling his story, and then they have that, you know, the graphics showing how they were in the pipe. Looks awful.
12 miners, grievous pain. This episode brought to you by Squarespace. Like, all these guys wish that they'd gone into web development. Now's your chance.
Great segue.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I love those like really dark murder channels that are like VPN sponsored. Just very, very silly, disjointed. Are there any other horrid stories like that I might be misremembering?
I don't know that you misremember. I like the stories about there was a salt mine that filled with water because it was like built under a fucking lake inexplicably. But then the terrifying part, besides if you're a salt miner being drowned like hundreds of feet below the earth, but the people who were in the lake like joy boating, suddenly a whirlpool like in the cartoons opened up in this lake that started drawing everything down into it. And you're going down into a salt mine deep within the earth if you get sucked in there. And it sucked huge swaths of land up. And I don't remember if any boats with people on them got sucked in or not.
Dude.
But
well, you said with people, so I'm
I
not sure if
boats
with people boats did, but what was impressive to me was like trees were getting sucked down there. You're like, well, the earth isn't going to get sucked down by the whirlpool. And then sure enough, the trees' root systems would break free. And these trees were 75 feet tall, 100 feet tall.
Not that huge volume of
estimating big things. Yeah. And so you watch 100-foot tree get sucked into the lake, and it's like, holy shit, it doesn't come back.
Yeah. I saw one about some mine in England. I think it was like copper and tin. And they had the way you got back out of the mine is they had these two reciprocating poles with steps on them. So you grab one pole and put on the step, and it would lift you up 10 feet. And then you stepped off onto the other pole, and it would reciprocate and go up. So they're always going like this. And the miners doing this like jump back and forth thing. This is before elevators were invented. But that system broke off and fell hundreds of feet down through with men on it, and everybody's just pinned down in the bottom. Yeah. I like the mining disaster videos because it's like that's one of the worst. That's one of the worst.
Job.
Being stuck down there, buried beneath the earth. And
even on a fantastic day in the mines, like that sucks. Like you're mining salt, the best day of the mines, like the pizza party, worst. Like I'd take any other job. I did see some scary stuff of those oil rig workers. So maybe I wouldn't. Actually, I'd prefer that. As long as I can see the sky, I'm in a better place than in a mine shaft.
Hmm.
Or maybe
think I'd enjoy being an underwater welder. I feel like that'd be a cool gig.
You like scuba?
I haven't really done it. I always like other water things, though. I've only done snorkeling and then scuba in a pool.
Have you scubaed, Richard?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like the ocean will fuck you up and humble you in a heartbeut.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's so many variables. You know what? It's one of those things. It's like skydiving. There was no way I was going to do it until I did a lot of research on it and realized what the variables were and all the incidents and most people that died, why they died, and all these other things. But man, there's so many variables in the ocean between you being not the top of the food chain to like, I don't know if you've, maybe I psych myself out. Have you ever seen any of those like dives that people do in caves, like Jacob's Well and stuff like that? They got to take their rig off.
Love that shit.
Through, dude.
It's so stressful.
Not my thing. I'll take all the snakes. Give me all the snakes in my pastures, please. Like, not to
I'd become a snake guy. Before
I'd change my name to Snake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna incorporate snakes into my Tinder profile.
Snake Ryan.
It'd be so funny to be a snake guy who like has it on his shoulders, and every time it's slithering, I'm like, eh. I just love snakes.
It's better than scuba.
It's better than scuba.
Oh man, I just
the snake voice.
So have you done scuba and didn't like it?
Yeah,
or?
no, I'm certified. I actually have tanks. I have a couple of rigs. I just like, yeah, I do. Like, I spend most of my time shooting crap underwater, like cameras. I have a spear gun and stuff that I'd film high speed underwater and everything because I wanted to see like the bubbles and like the supercavitation effect underwater and everything. So I'd shoot guns underwater and everything. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm too ignorant to really embrace it.
You ever see the scene in The Abyss where they use the liquid oxygen to go super deep?
Yes.
That's so I guess, you can't below a certain depth. I guess you couldn't breathe.
Maybe it smushes you because you have air inside. You can only take so much pressure.
Something like that. Something because of the pressure. And also like the liquid mixture is much more oxygen dense. So it lasts longer. You could have a tank of liquid O2 mixture that would last for hours, I suppose. Versus,
is it different than nitrox?
I don't know what nitrox is. This stuff's pink. And in the movie The Abyss, they demonstrate it by putting a rat into the liquid solution. And you're watching the movie and you're like, wow, that looks real. It is real. The rat is breathing the liquid solution. It works.
That's got to feel so weird.
Yeah, the rats hate it. The reason the shots are so quick is because the rats shit themselves constantly while they're in the solution.
That's what I would do too.
Because they're terrified. I'd probably shit myself if you submerge me in the breathable pink liquid.
Yeah, they drown you.
Imagine a breathable liquid, like how hard it would be to move that liquid in and out of your respiratory system.
Yeah,
you would need a suit that worked kind of like a fighter pilot's pressure suit. The way that it squeezes your thighs to get the blood up here. You need something to help you with operate your
lungs,
your lungs, your whole system. It help you squeeze that stuff out and draw it in. That would be really hard.
So if you put your face in a vat of that and just like and breathed in and then like stood up and exhaled, it would like look like you were vomiting, like just pink goo exhaling.
I would really be vomiting.
It's not goo, it's liquid. it's very watery like. It's like the consistency of water. You could pull the clip up and like see
it's
the
like
rat
water.
breathing it.
I remember it being kind of syrupy.
I don't.
I'm just like risk to reward. Like I could go hiking or I could put a bunch of fucking pink goo in my lungs and walk at the bottom of the ocean and risk dying.
By the way, the deep sea dive,
one's better.
Using it for humans to deep sea dive, I'm like, is like science fiction, but it works on the rats. Is what I'm saying. Like in the movie, now they put it in William Hurt's fucking suit and they drown him, and he's like, oh, and then they send him down to the bottom to defuse a nuclear weapon. but
So we've never used this on people, really.
I'm sure they've used it on people. If they probably got pneumonia the next day. I think that's that's the main problem is when you put liquid into your lungs, you get pneumonia. So that's going to be an issue.
Okay, well, then that's another point in Richard's column of why. Like, just go for a hike. We're terrestrial animals, and we are best on land. We suck in the water. We're not even like lower third in the water. We're bottom 1% of water dwelling creatures.
We're top tier for hominids. Like, look at them motherfuckers. They drown right away. They fear the water. Orangutan sees you jump in the water. He thinks he writes you off right away. He think you might as well jump into lava as far as he's concerned.
Have you seen the clips of the gorillas like crossing a stream and they're doing their gorilla like quadruped walk, and then they get to the stream and they stand up like a person with like their gorilla paws up and they like across because they don't want to get their knuckles wet, and then they go back to it.
Funny.
Yeah, they don't like it any. I guess they like it way less than we do. All right, fine. We're the best of the bipedal apes.
I've seen the orangutan that washes itself with soap in the river because it had seen people do it in the river, and I saw the one that sweeps its enclosure. Not well, mind you. It's operating a broom though, for sure, on purpose. Yeah. It's doing what
hammers too. There's a David Attenborough clip.
Oh, that's sad.
David Attenborough's like, notice the way they can mimic human behavior. Lucy here is using a hammer because her handler, Marcus, was using one last week. And like you show Lucy doing it and she's holding it totally wrong. She's not even, the nail is like laid on a piece of there's
no spark. There's no understanding of what this is, why it is, what this is, why it is. She just knows that this.
Yeah. I saw someone do this, and I'm going to mimic that. Monkey see, monkey do. I don't know why he was doing it, and I don't know why I'm doing it. But the guy
and she really doesn't understand what he's doing either, because she has she's not putting the nail there. She's not hitting it. Like Planet of the Apes is not going to happen anytime soon, I don't think.
No, we dominate the other apes. Not even a contest.
Well, in Planet of the Apes, have you seen the new movie? I think there's like 4 or 5 of them now. But it started off with like a virus that I think made the apes smart and killed people or something. So there's like not as many people, but now you've got super smart apes. I think the new one's coming out soon. It's like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That CGI is good. Those apes look disturbingly real.